Welcome to the video. I decided to come out for the day, or at least a few hours today, and just have a drive, get in the fresh air and whatnot, and get out and about. I did speak to the kids last night, and normally at the weekend I go over to see them in Wakefield, but they were kind of busy this weekend. So that said, let me show you around where I am. Okay. So we are on the North Yorkshire Moors, and would you believe it, this is only about 40 minutes, 35 minutes from my front door. Okay, so I'm a bit surprised I don't come out here more often. I wish I did. I should do, really. And now it's summer and I've got the camper van, maybe I will, which is great. I've chosen this particular spot because just down the road, just down there, is a little place called Goathalnd. It's not big, it's maybe about half a dozen houses, maybe in a little pub, okay, but it is absolutely stunning. It's an amazing spot, and so I thought I'd just do kind of like a bit of a drive-through on the way to Goathland. Goathland is where they film Heartbeat, and it's somewhere I've wanted to go for a long time but never actually got to, so perhaps I'll get there today. I hope so anyway. But in the meantime, I'm absolutely starving, so I'm going to get some food on. Bish bash bosh, as if by magic, delicious burger. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to have this with a bit of cheese, don't you know, and then I'm going to get on down to Goathalnd. All right, and I must say that having the fridge in this tiny little micro camper is an absolute godsend. Okay, not only is this thing a fridge, I think I've mentioned this before, but it's got a freezer compartment as well. So in said freezer compartment, I've even got ice cubes, and would you believe it, these do stay frozen, this little tiny fridge, and some little ice lollies as well, just in case. In a minute, one of these Aldi specials or Lidl specials with some ice. So I've left my truck at home. There's always something you forget when you go camping or go out for the day. For me, it's my cup. I'm using this food container, which is fine, to drink out of my Diet Coke. I'm going to enjoy that Diet Coke. I'm going to cut this burger up. I'll bring you back in a minute. So, burger's done, burger's eaten. I didn't need to show you the delightful burger that I cooked up, but unfortunately I forgot to put the camera back on. Okay, ain't that grand. Okay, so now is the washing up. This is the downside, isn't it, of cooking things like that, is the washing up, whether you're at home or in the camper van. Okay. Okay, so I've got a camera on the roof. I don't know if I'll be able to integrate the footage into this, and I've swapped from my phone to my iPad, so filming's all over the place right now, but I just want to try and capture as much of this as we possibly can, just to show you how epic it is around here. It's amazing. We've got another car camper, I think, down there. When I got out of my van after eating and scoffing those burgers and washing up and stuff, I turned around and there was 4 more campers behind me and all around me. So I don't know how busy that spot's going to be this evening. I was kind of thinking about possibly camping out there tonight, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. Of course, we've got the sheep all over the road here, and again, I'm going to try and cut some of this footage into the video if I can. My skills are not that good, and the free software I've got is quite limited, so I don't know, maybe I will, maybe I won't, but I'm hoping to anyway. But if not, I've got it for myself, for posterity anyway, and that's what this channel's all about, to be quite honest with you. I know we've got 1 or 2 subscribers, literally, and thank you for that. That's absolutely fantastic, quite made up. You know, it's more for me to map my own journey, so to speak. You know, my dad had Alzheimer's and dementia. My mum has got the same. I've had aunties and uncles with the same, and so it does kind of run in the family. It's quite prevalent, and you know, there's always a chance that I'm going to go down the same route. My memory is always rubbish and crap anyway. It hasn't always been, so I do get really concerned about that. Okay, that said, okay, so this is going to be like more like a video diary, I suppose. That's the whole point. That was the whole origins of vlogging, wasn't it? I guess. But if you enjoy it, that's fantastic. I'll try and make it as the content as audience friendly as I can for that purpose. But one thing I will say around here is that the roads are super narrow. You do have to drive slowly, and you have to look right off into the distance to see if there's any oncoming traffic, so you can try and pull over where and when you can to let them pass. Now on this particular stretch of road, as we go down towards, I'll try and put the name of the road on the titles if I can. Okay. What an arsehole. You know, it is quite a treacherous road if you're going too quickly, and you don't want to put yourself in a precarious situation if you can possibly avoid it. And of course, meeting head-on traffic up here is going to be a bit of a mare. Oh gosh, look at this old chap. Oh girl, steaming up the hill with the walking sticks. Flipping it. This, I don't know if the camera's doing this hill any justice, but we're going down into quite a valley. It's quite a steep hill, so she's walked quite some distance. Because I tell you what, there ain't no houses for a little while down here. Okay, so she's, I think, probably fitter than me. It has to be said. Didn't used to be the case, but you know, it certainly is at the moment, I think. Yeah, so I think we've got about a mile and a half to get to Goathalnd. Lots of sheep, you couldn't see them off to my right. Just wandering around, you can see some down there on the verge. They're all over the place. So you do have to take your time driving down here. Don't matter how many times you get a car at your backside pipping its horn. You know, you hit a sheep and you're not going to come off very well as your vehicle. That is for sure. The big hefty things. And not only that, those sheep are people's living. You know, you just reduce their living potential if you knock over a sheep and kill it. So best not to, eh? But it is absolutely boiling today. Okay, and of course you're not going to know that on the camera, but it's, I think, 18 degrees or so right now. And I've got trousers on. I wish I'd put some shorts on, but there you go. It was only 14 degrees when I set off. Thank you. And generally speaking, countryside folk tend to be a little bit more chilled out and relaxed. I think maybe is that because of the environment in which they live. It is such a chilled out, relaxed environment. Is it? I don't know. Comments below if you're watching this. 2 more hikers and walkers. Here we are. This is Goathalnd. Just coming into here, and again, I'm hoping to cut in the picture-in-picture stuff. Try and do something clever with the editing. Yikes! It's not my thing really, but I'll give it a whirl. See what I can do. So, yeah. 25% gradient on this hill with lots and lots of bends on it, and these bends are quite sharp.
In 200 yards, continue straight.
Thank you, SatNav. Captain Google. Oh, here we go. And see that motorcycle he got? I mean, he could have slowed down and he could have gone wider, but he got within like literally 1.5 inches of my wing mirror. That's
continue straight, then you will arrive at your destination.
That's how narrow these roads actually are. It says to continue straight. I thought that was a private road. I think I've got to go over this hill, over this bridge. Look at that genius parking that guy's got there. Gives us a little wave. He knows he's parked in a dodgy, dicky place.
Head
Why park
southwest.
there? That's nuts. Look at this. This is beautiful, man. Slowing right down to about 10 miles an hour right now to get around this bend. Well, there's not much here. There's literally half a dozen houses and a river and maybe a pub, and that's it. And lots and lots of no parking signs that everybody seems to ignore. So I'll just do a drive through and then I might find somewhere to park. I do need the loo, so I might go to the pub to use the loo if it's open. This is gorgeous. Can you imagine living here? It's right. It's like, picture this: you're going down a really steep hill into a valley, which is what we've done, and then at the bottom of the valley you've got like another dip, which is where this pub is. Goodness me! I was driving over what is Goathland. Hiya, is it open?
No, it said closed Saturday.
Oh, right, okay.
Okay.
Cheers, thank you. Okay, so the pub's not open. Look at this hill. This is an epic hill. I don't know if the camera on the roof is picking up just how epic this hill is. It's super, super steep. 25%, but in such a short length of space. You climb, well, I don't know what the elevation is, but you climb up quite a substantial amount. My ears feel like they're popping at the moment. Everything's falling off the cupboards below by my feet, onto my feet, so I don't want them near my brake foot, or any foot for that matter. Super narrow. And you can't help but cut across the apex when you come around some of these. Around here. Wow. And there's a really cool bridge over here as well. Now I did come down here one time and look at that, priority over oncoming vehicles, so that's us having priority. And unfortunately, now this sign says something different. I think it says give way to oncoming vehicles. Yeah, okay. I thought we had right of way coming down here, but clearly that's not the case. So Goathalnd, there's not much there. You've just seen it. It's been, it's done, it's gone, literally. But I just absolutely love that little stretch of road, the hills, sorry, the hills going down into it and the hill coming back out again. I love it. It's got to be one of the most picturesque places in England. Wonder how much the properties are. Right, I'm going to save the battery on this iPad. I'll catch you when we get to Goathland. So one thing I did want to mention was just down the road there, as you're coming through the village, there are many gift shops, all selling memorabilia from the shows that have been filmed here. So I think Heartbeat and Harry Potter are the two famous, biggest ones, but I think there's been others in the past that I've probably never heard of. And I was really disappointed because I went into some of them. In fact, I went into 3 of them, and they're all selling gollywogs. Gollywogs, if you don't know what they are, I'll try and put a picture up if I can, are very much a racial icon, I think, anyway. They used to be on Robinson's Jam. I think they used to be the logo, I think, for Robinson's Jam, and they got rid of it, I think, in the 80s. They decided, no, yeah, it is a bit racial, it is a bit controversial, let's get rid. And so I think British society then decided, yeah, it's not right, it is a bit of a racial thing, let's not bother with it. But it seems to be making a bit of a comeback. I've seen them along the coast areas as well where I live, and I don't really agree with them at all. It's not a good look, it's not a good thing to be selling or promoting, but funnily enough, I think they know that, because in each of the 3 shops that sell the gollywogs, they had signs up saying no photographs allowed, and they were all around the gollywogs. Nowhere else in the shop, just around the gollywogs. So I put asking people not to take photographs of this item they're selling, because they know it's controversial. Bit of a weird one, that one. Anyway, I'm gonna have another bit of a walk. Okay, so it seems I found a little walk. It's called the Goathland Centenary Walk. It's a 2-mile walk, so it'll take maybe an hour at the most, I would have thought, to get round. So we're going to do that. Now, I was reading the plaque back there, and it said that after the war, 12 oak trees were planted in memorial to 12 people who died in the First World War. So who knows, maybe we'll get to see those on the walk as well. So just a little ways into the walk, and look, what do we find? We find forget-me-nots. Okay, which I think is really apt and appropriate for the name of the walk, the Centenary Walk. So on the plaque there was a really sad story about a young man went off to the war, and he was there to, I think it said, lay or develop sort of lines for supply lines or something. But he contracted along the way there on the train, he contracted a disease, an illness unknown, and he died before he could get there. So he served less than a year. The army absolved any responsibility and said the illness was due to the railway. The railway absolved any responsibility and said it's the army's problem. And between them they couldn't agree. So the widow and her family, the kids, didn't get any pension at all, not a penny, for his service. You know, so imagine that, you get conscripted, sent off to war, you don't make it to the war, but you know, you pass away, and there's nothing at the end of it for the family. I think that's appalling, really sad story. Just thought I'd share it with you. So it looks like the footpath for the Centenary Walk takes us straight through this little bit of the campsite. I won't film too much, I'll just spin you around very briefly. There we go. Alright, I won't film any more in here because there's kids around. Well, I kid you not, I followed the sign, okay, Centenary Walk public footpath, took me into the campsite down there, followed it all the way down to the end of the campsite, came to a dead end. No way in, no way out. Okay, so I think we're done for this walk. So after a really nice day out at, where was it, Goathalnd and Hull, I'm back in my usual spot. Well, I say usual spot, I've been here 2 or 3 times and really like it. But I've never slept here, which is cool. But I can see I've got a bit of company. There's a little motorhome, well, a little motorhome, it's massive, over on that side of the road as well. Okay, so that's good to have a bit of company, you know, you're on your own for the night. And I'm going to make some tea in a minute, but not yet. But it's just absolutely amazing here. I mean, look at that. Yep, there's some cars that go past from time to time down that main road there, but you know, what do you expect? But also, I think come tonight, late in the evening, that'll die down to nothing. And also we've got right in the distance there, Fylingdales. I don't know if you can see it. This phone's really getting it, but yeah, Fylingdales right over there, just in case you wondered where I was. Well, I'm not being funny, but you could be anywhere in the world right now, but we're here on North Yorkshire Moors, looking at the most amazing sunset